Hey y'all, it's your Captain for All Things Creative coming at you with House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 8 review. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe. And if you're returning, thank you so much for rocking with us. Also, make sure y'all are registered to vote if you're in the U.S. And let's talk about this very underwhelming season finale. So, first, I'm seeing like all this Santa stuff. I'm like, oh, we in the Pirates of the Caribbean set now. And this is where the Greens had sent Tywin Lannister to negotiate with the Triarchy to get allies to remove the blockade by the Sea Snake and the Blacks. Then we see Vhagar burning down the Sharp Point town because he's mad that Rhaenyra almost jumped him with her dragon. He don't like being embarrassed. So he gained his self-esteem back and his lick back on these poor innocent people. Then we see Aegon in bed begging for some rum. He was like, I didn't get rum and Red Bull. But the maester, sneaks it to him before Larys could come and catch him and tell him that they got to leave King's Landing ASAP since Rhaenyra has about 11 dragons. And Aemon is angry that Rhaenyra is messing up his whole game. So she's probably going to take it out on Aegon and just take him out. So then Ulf and Hugh, they lounge around in Dragonstone. And Jacaerys has to get them together real fast. He's like, get your foot off of my mama's table. And he threatens them with death by being fed to dogs if they don't act right and help with the war. Corlys is then seen being a deadbeat dad, walking with Rhaenyra, still not claiming Adam to her, acting like he's a stranger. But he was talking some more sense to her about, not underestimating the Greens because they got that dragon of Darius, and they got, Helena, who might decide that she want to ride. They really don't know. And then he also says that he named one of his ships after Rhaenys, which was really cute, called the Queen That Never Was. Then we see Damon with his army, and Sir Alfred Broom finally making it to Damon with his army in full swing. And Alfred's going to be a traitor. He asking a word with Damon in private, right? So then they go to the weirwood tree place, and he immediately has auditory hallucinations while he's by the weirwood tree. And Damon's like, yeah, these trees make you smack your mama and howl at the moon. Everything about this place is weird. But the trees, they were not wrong, because basically Alfred is like, the realm needs a king. So he's on that patriarchy installer man. Yes, he had, tour loyalty to Viserys, but he's low-key excited that Damon might take a crack at the throne, and he's willing to be a traitor. And Sir Simon Strong hears this, and shout out to him for being the best snitch, the most helpful snitch in the world this episode, right? So then you see Helena and Alicent talking about people hate them and how they're going to escape their life. And then Aemon barges in front of Alicent and tries to order Helena to go right out with her dragon. He gets to grabbing on her arm and bullying her. But Alicent tells him off and stands up to Aemon for Helena. And it shows now that she can, try to protect at least one of her kids. She then goes to the hardest working maester in all of Westeros, Maester Orwell. She's like, listen, I need passage. I need help to go to somewhere. And you're like, is you going to go touch the grass again? What's happening? So then you see Kristen Cole fighting with Alicent's brother since he was staring at her handkerchief. And Kristen Cole is not low, so Alicent's brother Peeps Game is like, oh, so you bragging that you was banging the queen now? You better have some shame about yourself. He's like, I could send you to the wall for what you did. And Kristen Cole's like, I don't care. They sent us to die, Who knows about honor? Who knows if justice is just what we do with our swords? He's very much having an existential crisis, kind of, but he's more like resigned at this point. And he kind of says, real talk, they're on a suicide mission, which Aemon definitely sent them on a suicide mission. He basically says that today would be a relief, especially since Alicent was the only thing that saved him from leaving Earth twice before. So then you see Tywin Lannister again fighting with that pirate Sharako Lohar, who challenged him. They're all muddy, but he does well, so he gets invited to dinner. And then we get a cute scene with Bela comforting Jacaerys about him still being special and noble, even though the Lord won't have dragons. Now he's pressed about it. And then you see Thailand, still eating with the pirates who have secured, their spot to fight against the sea snake and them. But then Sharaka Lohar also asked Talon to make babies with all of their wives. And he's like, how many wives you got? What is this? So then we see Rhaenyra trying to have a fancy dinner with the low-born dragon riders, and Jace and Bela. Jace was not having it. And Ulf and Hugh was showing their behinds. Hugh, not as much, but Ulf definitely. They asking for more chicken and stuff and just being loud. And then Jace had to check Ulf, especially for not respecting the queen, since, Rhaenyra was trying to tell him to act right. She's like, you're supposed to act like nice. And he's like, well, make me a knight then. Jace was like, you forget yourself. Like, you about to, get his tongue cut off or something. Because, Jacaerys don't play about his mama. So then Rhaenyra basically tells them they're going to ride out in 2 days for green strongholds like Old Town and whatnot. But everybody's kind of hesitating because they're like, we're about to attack innocent people. But, Rhaenyra says, well, the few are going to be sacrificed to save the larger majority of people. And then she gets a raven from our favorite snitch, Simon Strong, that, at Harrenhal, Damon is playing games. So next you see the witch Alice River is in Damon's bed with a candle. I don't know if they had done something before, but whatever. Rhaenyra had already cheated, so if he got a little action, I don't think that, it's completely out of character for Damon because he been wild. He been the Prince of Flea Bottom. But he asks if she don't sleep, and then she says she's going to the Godswood, so he follows her. And she gives him a little spooky speech and then asks him if he wishes to see what his own tea is and look into the future. So he touches one of them trees that actually had George R.R. Martin's face carved in it. And then he get the werewolf sap all up on his hands. And then he watches all of Game of Thrones. He sees, the three-eyed raven, the original one. He sees Daenerys, and he sees Rhaenyra on the throne. So he also sees Helena, who is connected. So she is definitely a seer. And then he better understands the future. We then see Aemon come back to Helena to ask more nicely to ride out with the dragons. But then she tells him that she knows and sees everything that he been up to. So she knows that he burnt up Aegon and whatnot. And he's like, no, I didn't. And she's like, yes, I did. Stop lying. And then she tells him that he gonna die behind his evilness. So she wants no part of his Game of Thrones. And then he threatens her, but she stands up to him about not being able to do nothing to change his face. So she's like, who gonna check the future? Not you. So then Rhaenyra and Adam roll up on Damon, and Caraxes looks so happy to see Cyrax. He's like, mommy, I don't know what daddy's doing. Come get me from this weird place. And then Simon was so happy to greet Rhaenyra too and snitch on Damon for all the right reasons. And Damon meets Rhaenyra after he done seen the future, and he's talking like, Viserys about winter's coming and all that stuff. So she sees the army and decides to challenge him once and for all for everybody. Like, who is this army for and who are you for? So he speaks Valerian to her about what he saw. She's like, you do sound like my daddy. And he finally bends the knee to her, and everybody else in the army does too. Even though that traitor Alfred Broom is looking like he still want a king, right? So then she tells him in Valerian that he bet not pull no stunts like that ever again. And then he says he ain't going nowhere. He already tried. And then you see Corlys give Alan a little pep talk that goes really badly after Alan calls him out for being a deadbeat. He's like, you was sitting there eating up all the nice food and putting on furs on your children, and you will walk by me, not even give me the eye. And I'm starving, trying to sell fish, so leave me alone, basically. And Corlys deserved it. Then we see another scene of Rhaenyra trying to claim a wild dragon, and I've been kind of blocking out these scenes because they were annoying. But she's basically looking raggedy in the wilderness, trying to claim Nettle's dragon, and I will never let them forget this. They better let Nettles try to come somehow, but it seems like Rhaenyra gonna get in those plots. You see Rhaenyra and Mysaria have a better pep talk than Corlys and Aemon, and you know, Mysaria is that voice of comfort and encouragement that Rhaenyra really needs at this time. And then when she goes to sleep, who do we see? None other than Miss Alicent coming to beg Rhaenyra for peace. But she still asks for Rhaenyra to save Aegon. And Rhaenyra tells her that she's delusional and a child to think that Aegon and her side can get away with usurping and killing her child and Queen Rhaenys and all them with at least giving up Aegon's head. She's like, listen, son for son, right? So Alicent goes away, kind of like, I bet. I just want to be free. And I'm tired of these fake peace attempt scenes. It's been up and stuck between the Greens and the Black. It's war, so HBO needs to stop wasting our time with these fake scenes to make us feel sorry for Alicent or, you know, trying to change the book too much, because this scene was unnecessary. It's a throwaway. Of course, Alicent is suffering now from her own bad decisions, and she basically dashed with her own hands the equality and progress that Viserys had tried to set up for everybody. So I don't feel sorry for her, and I don't need to see more fake scenes of her trying to do right. The only Green I truly feel sorry for is Helaena. And the one I respect for playing the Game of Thrones the best is Otto Hightower, even though I can't like him all the way because he's grimy. But Rhaenyra does eat a little bit in this scene by calling out Alicent for her fake piety and taking a lover. And she has that good line. She's like, you went and made virtue your banner, and you did all that. So I would say Rhaenyra ate Alicent up in this scene. But Alicent basically says that Rhaenyra can come get the throne in 3 days. Just as Rhaenyra was planning to go fight for it and ride out with her new dragon riders in 2 days. So this was very, very long trailer preview of things to come for next season for sure. And at the end, that was like the last full scene. So at the end, we get a lazy montage instead of a battle. And I was not feeling that. I thought we'd at least get maybe the Butcher's Ball at this point. I gave up on the Battle of the Gullet because I knew it wasn't happening. But I was like, Kristen Cole is out there ready to die. Y'all could have gave us the Butcher's Ball, but whatever. And you see Rhaena fighting a brown dragon, so I'm pretty sure it's Sheep Stealer. We see Otto Hightower in a cage. We see the Greybeards from the north crossing over to the Frey Bridge and coming, you know, down to where Kristen Cole is already. So I really think they could have did the Butcher's Ball, but they stingy. And then you see the ships from both sides. You see the Sea Snake looking vexed with his son in a boat, and then you also see them pirates with the Lannister guy on a boat, and then you see Larys spirited Aegon away to Dragonstone, probably if they're following the book. And then you see all the new dragon riders getting armor and whatnot, all these little scenes that lead to the end, but they played us. This finale did not give what I thought it was gonna give. Maybe the cutest part besides, you know, Damon finally bending the knee was that scene where he touched the weirwood tree and the sap made him see all the Game of Thrones. It was nice seeing Daenerys again because she was my favorite queen from the show. I don't know why they did her like that in the end, but she's a descendant of Rhaenyra and Damon, so they played up the fact that Damon now knows his part in history, that he's gonna, you know, be in this line of people that have to protect the realm. And I like the book, and I thought I'm gonna stick with the show, but they really played us for this last episode. Say how you felt about it in the comments, and remember, you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Bye.